more now on one of our top stories. Indonesian Foreign Minister Marty Natalegawa has told reporters at the World Economic Forum that Indonesian border security is being heightened, but Australia should not be concerned. Sky News reporter Dan Bourchier is in Davos, Switzerland, and I spoke to him earlier about what Mr Natalegawa had to say about Indonesia's border operations.
Yeah, well, Selena, you'd have to think that Marty Natalegawa, the Indonesian Foreign Minister's language was fairly strong today. This is the first time that we've heard him talking about security being upped around the archipelago. Mr Natalegawa says that some warships have been moved, but that it shouldn't be seen as an act of war aggression.
It's not meant to be an unfriendly act to anyone. It's just a country that is keen to ensure that our sovereign border is properly protected.
So can you confirm that there has been an increased use of radar surveillance?
No, I can't confirm. Obviously, that's an operational matter that is far beyond my purview.
Has there been any increase in surveillance generally in southern waters?
Post-revelation about the violation of our border, as you would be aware when the coordinating Minister for Political Affairs made the press statement, there was an indication that we will strengthen our border protection. I think that is already a matter of public information that we have taken that decision.
And Dan, Prime Minister Abbott is now on his way home. How did the forum finish for him?
Well, Selena, by all accounts, this was a very successful visit for Prime Minister Tony Abbott, the three-day summit here, the World Economic Forum in Davos here in Switzerland. The Prime Minister's really gearing up for the G20 summit, which will be held in Brisbane at the end of the year. Australia is the chair of that meeting, and Mr Abbott has laid out what he hopes to achieve. Here's what he said.
This year's Brisbane summit will focus on just a few key subjects because progress usually comes one step at a time. Australia's aim is a communique, just 3 pages long, explaining precisely how good intentions are being put into practice. Like last year, this year's G20 must be more than a talk fest. And as always, trade comes first.
One of the areas, Selena, that the Prime Minister will be really focusing on is taxation and what he says he wants to achieve through that.
For the leaders of the countries generating 85% of the world's GDP, merely to agree on the principles needed for taxation to be fair in a globalised economy would be a big step forward.
And Selena, following that keynote address, the Prime Minister met with Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister. He then went on to meet with David Cameron, the Prime Minister of the UK, before jumping back on a plane, heading back home to Australia ahead of Australia Day celebrations. Selena.
Dan Bourchier in Davos, Switzerland. Thanks very much for your time.